Peace and blessings. I'm Giovanna, the Spiritual Love Healer, creator of the Spiritual Love Sanctuary and Healing Single Mothers, which is a platform where I really focus on issues that single moms deal with and face from a spiritual perspective. And today I'm going to be doing an intuitive goddess guidance reading. This is a spread that I created and a reading for single moms. So I'm going to be using, I haven't decided, but I'm going to use one of my goddess decks. This is like my original goddess deck. I'm also going to be using my manifesting cards, which I use a lot for my single moms readings. And then I'm going to use my mythical goddess tarot deck, which is the deck that I use when I'm reading for my single moms. So I'm going to pull a goddess card and 2 oracle cards, and then I'm going to go into the spread, and it's going to kind of talk about the energy of the mother, any lessons, obstacles, what your children need from you, what you need to learn from them, any messages from your angels or spirit guides, and then how to embrace motherhood. So I'm really excited about this. This is the first time that I am going to be doing the reading in this way. So, oh, and I intuitively reached for this goddess guidance deck, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. I've had this deck for a while, but I don't think I've really read with it. So I think maybe I'll just start working with it on my own and see what comes up. So this is going to be a reading for the collective, for single mothers. If you feel drawn to this reading, then there may be a message here for you. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I do also offer private readings where you can book a session with me. So you can head over to healingsinglemothers.com and check out what I have to offer there. So if there's something that you're dealing with, one way that you can get more out of the reading is set an intention around what it is, like what's been bothering you, what would you like some clarity on. So as I shuffle, I want you to kind of close your eyes if you can and just really think about something that you as a single mom are seeking guidance on. And I'm just gonna start to shuffle, and I'm gonna be just kind of going through the process as if I were reading for someone. So my shuffling process is long, and sometimes when I record these videos, I feel like rushed. So I want to just like honor myself and honor the reading and allow space for it to fully unfold. So just bear with me and enjoy. So maybe I'll have some music playing next time when I do the reading. My spread is on my iPad and it's losing battery pretty quickly. So I'm hoping, let me turn this off, and that it doesn't die on me while I'm doing the reading. Like some cards were missing. Okay, we're good. So something might feel missing. You might be feeling out of balance, feeling like you are giving your all, doing the most, and it is not fair, which probably definitely resonates. So we have Goddess Ma'at, who represents fairness, justice, balance, karma. This is the situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. So what this can mean and represent is like, especially if you're dealing with someone who's not keeping up, you know, whatever they're supposed to be doing, and you might be like, you know, this is so unfair. They need to be helping. They need to do whatever. You could also be pursuing legal remedy, whether that is child support, sorting out custody, working with a mediator on that, and just know that things are going to work out in a fair manner. But you also need to be sure that you're not so much wrapped up in their, you know, justice being served or them getting what they deserve. Like, not so much so in a revenge way, but just like wanting them to like be held responsible, like because sometimes we focus all of our energy on that, right? Like how could they just be going on like living life like it's all good and they're not doing what they're supposed to do? Like don't concern yourself with them, because in due time you know, things will be handled and sorted out for them. So you just want to worry about what you need to do for you going forward, and make sure that you are you're doing right by yourself. You're doing what you need to do to take care of you. Yeah, so we got divine timing. Everything will work out in divine timing. It might seem like, you know, you got the shit end of the stick, but trust and believe that what is put out is what is returned. So you don't have to worry about them getting what they deserve. All you need to worry about is you making sure that you have what you need and you're doing what you need to do for you. And you'll possibly have someone coming into your life to help you. So when I see soul partnership, there's a few different ways. This could be an actual relationship where you are magnetizing and manifesting love in your life. So you have a partner who comes in and who is stepping up to the plate. They're helping you. They're, you know, being a very beneficial addition to your life, which is really beautiful. I can also see this as maybe it is someone just coming in to help you. So maybe your boss is like, hey, you know what? I see that you're taking on all of these responsibilities. Let's give you a raise. Or maybe it's a family member that's like, hey, I want to help you out. What do you need? And they're just being really supportive, giving you what you need. And this could also be you getting to a place where you found such deep love for yourself. You've been able to go in and balance out your own heart. Because see, in this card, we have the bird and the feather, and which is lighter. You've been able to balance out things, finding peace and harmony within yourself. And so now you're no longer really worried about your ex or whatever they have going on. You're like, I'm living my life and it feels good. So I'm going to be walking away, focusing on the future that I want. And maybe that future is, you know, a partner. Maybe it's moving and it's traveling, going on a vacation. You're starting to really level up your life because you're no longer worried about them. You're no longer worried about the wrong that they have done, because you're trusting that God is going to work all of that out in the end. So it's no longer something that's weighing down your heart. You're now light as a feather, and you're able to rise up above and overcome that and really start to focus on what is most important for you. And what I see here, like we have, you know, Spirit is always watching things. And sometimes we feel like they got away with it. They, you know, they used me, they played me, they're doing wrong by their children. But it's not always about that. And when we get caught in that cycle, it can weigh us down, and then we miss the opportunities to take action. And sometimes divine timing is opportunity. There's a door that's open, but you're not able to see it because you're so worried about the hurt that you've endured and the struggle that's on your plate, that you're not seeing what's around you. So I feel like there is time to move forward. Make sure that, you know, you have set things in motion to balance things out for yourself as well, and that you are being open to new opportunities and really focused on moving forward in your life. And it's getting to a place where you're, because what happens too sometimes with love, like sometimes, you know, especially for single moms, we feel like we have to wait till our children are grown up or out of the house to date. That, you know, we're not allowed or able to date, or sometimes that we don't even deserve love. Like we're not worth loving. No one's going to love us because we have children and things like that. And that is not the case. This is you trusting in, and not only in divine timing, but it's also trusting in the fact that, you know, there is a plan for your life, and not that and not in a sense that it's fate, everything, but also in the fact that when it comes to divine timing, that also includes endings and beginnings. So if something has ended in your life, then that means that there's something new that can come into your life. So you can start new cycles. You don't have to continue living out of the same pain and out of the same hurt, because that can block you from feeling like you deserve love, or even wanting to pursue love again, because you're like, you know what, I just had a really horrible relationship and child came into this world, and now I have all of these responsibilities. So I'm going to close my heart off to love, which is something that I see. And I feel like for a lot of you, you are balancing out your heart. And you're realizing that, you know what happened in the past taught me a lot. It doesn't have to weigh me down. And, you know, I do realize that I deserve love and I need love and support in my life. So I'm going to allow myself to really open up to that. So that is a beautiful message from Goddess Ma'at. Where is the reading? Okay, so now we are going to get into your energy to see what lessons are coming up, what is going on, and dive deeper into the soul partners, the energy of fairness. Okay, so we have 8 of Earth in reverse. So you might not be in a space where you're really taking care of yourself the way that you should. You haven't really been able to focus on taking care of yourself or that self-love. Like I said, you're probably feeling a bit worn out and overwhelmed right now. So like taking care of you has been maybe the last thing on your to-do list. And I know like if you are, you know, working and then kids are doing school at home, it's a lot. And I talked about this the other day, and you can find the video on Instagram or YouTube where I was just kind of talking about the frustrations that I've been going through. The lesson is 10 of Fire, self-destruction, which is very beautiful. And that kind of goes back into the cycles that we were talking about. Self-destruction does not mean that you are doing things to necessarily destroy yourself, although it can indicate that maybe you have developed some unhealthy habits. So we'll talk about that. Yeah, let me get into these first 3 cards real quick. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is actually very beautiful. So we have the 8 of Earth in reverse, which is an indication that you're not really taking care of yourself. You're not really putting in the work to nurture things that you're trying to grow or develop in your life. So that might mean, you know, you have less time to take care of yourself right now. You have less time to work on your hobbies or, you know, whatever it is. It's almost like you are just getting by, kind of doing the bare minimum. Maybe you're not able to do all of the chores around the house. Time is limited and you're having to like pick and choose like what's getting done. And that can definitely make a lot of sense. It doesn't always have to mean that you're just like letting yourself go. It might mean there are a lot of things on the table, and so you're pushing back other things because sometimes that's what being a parent is about. But what I see here with this self-destruction is that you're starting to see the importance of taking care of yourself, the importance of certain things in your life, and you're really getting clarity on what it is that you want to nurture, develop, and grow. So another thing that I'm seeing with the self-destruction and then the 8 of Earth in reverse is that maybe you are not taking care of yourself. Maybe you've, you know, just been overeating. You haven't really been working out. You got off of your, you know, hair or skincare regimen. You're not going, you know, exercising anymore. And so the things that you're starting to do are not helping you to feel good. But you're realizing that and you're seeing like, okay, this is time for transformation. So was kind of like a wake up call. Maybe you realize, wow, like my birthday's about to come up or my birthday just passed and I don't want to be like this in the next year. So it's time for a change. So I feel like you're starting to see how you've not been nurturing yourself. You've not been putting the energy into yourself that you want to, how you want to see yourself develop. And so you've had this wake up call where it was kind of like, you know, come to Jesus moment with yourself. And you're like, yo, this shit got to go. Like, I'm not going to continue, you know, feeding myself with negativity, whether it's actual food or whether it's, you know, what you're consuming, you know, on media or reading or things like that. You're realizing that there's a point for transformation. And what happens is that you're going to ascend. You're going to go and evolve. You've gained a lot of wisdom in your life, and there's motorcycles going by, so you might be able to hear that. And you're realizing now it's time to change. All of the things that you learned in this season where you weren't taking care of yourself, you were putting others before you, or you were sowing seeds of negativity, you realize like, this is not going to help me. And so you had maybe a moment of Maybe you kind of just like had one of those like boohoo cry moments, like this cannot be life, and you are like, what can I do to move forward? And so you elevate from this. The lesson is coming from this. The lesson is coming from you realizing that you are in a space where you need to change, where you cannot continue going on like this. And the obstacle is you tapping into that wisdom and using that wisdom so that you can write this energy. Because if you continue to go in mothering with this energy, you're not really nurturing anything. You're not really able to grow anything beneficial right now. And so you've got to start pouring love into yourself, pouring more time, more energy, more nutrients, more resources into yourself, into your family, into your home, into the things that really matter, into the things that are going to grow and blossom, so that you can integrate the lessons from this moment that you're having here, from the fire. Wherever you are feeling pressure in your life right now, that has something to teach you. Excuse me. And snakes represent transformation. And so if you are feeling pressure or heat in some area of your life, really consider, is this something that I've been nurturing, or is this something that I have been ignoring? Is this something that, what is this trying to tell me? Is this trying to tell me that I really need to start budgeting more? Is this trying to tell me that I need to start working out more? Is this trying to tell me that I need to create more structure for myself or for my family? And then you have to put it in practice. And this is where a lot of times we can struggle, because when we are in situations like this, where we put ourselves last, where we're not really focusing on ourselves, we're just getting by, it's hard to shift out of getting by into living consciously, into living mindfully, and living with intention. And that's what the obstacle or lesson is going to be. Okay. So next we're going to look at what your children need from you. Yeah, I feel like you've got to find some balance in your life. And that might mean maybe creating a daily schedule, finding ways to get more support, to feel more supported. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of the cards. So we have what your children need from you. And we've got depleted here too. 8 of C's. They are also feeling emotionally drained and depleted. And then we have Ace of Illumination. It might not be something, Ace of Fire. Like, they want to express themselves. They're not feeling like they can express themselves. So this might mean maybe having like family time where you sit and talk. Or maybe it's just finding ways to allow them to be more creative, get some finger paints, get them little journals and some markers or coloring books or something, and just allow them to color and to freely express themselves. And I would say too, like a need to sit down and talk, see what they're feeling and why they're feeling that way. And drawing is a really good way to bring that out as well. But they're feeling like just no fun, no inspiration, and we have to infuse their day with some kind of creativity. Kids yoga is like really fun and creative. It allows them to like use their imagination and their bodies. So that's another way of allowing them to express themselves. But it feels like there's an inner, just a block of energy, and maybe they're, just need to go outside and play more. And this could be that, school also has started, so they're missing the freedom and flexibility that comes along with summertime. So there's that as well to take into consideration. And with school, because I even noticed like with my little one with school, moving around a lot and adding more fun to their day is just going to be very, very important, because they're feeling like fish out of water. Like, oh my gosh. And it can be boring for them, right? Because they're not in school. They're sitting behind a computer, and then they look out the window and they're like, ooh, what's that? Or they're, you know, stuck in the house doing school. Like, they don't get to go and sit with their friends. That can be stressful for kids, especially if they're either new to school and they were, you know, excited about, oh, I'm going to ride the school bus, and you know, or if they've, you know, been in school and they know, like, I should be hanging out with my friends, I'm missing recess and lunch. So remember that too. While you're feeling like this, your kids are feeling the same thing as you. They're just not able to show it, right? Because this is emotion. So maybe they are not listening as well. Maybe you can tell they're kind of not focused, and they're just lagging around, or they just seem off in, you know, another distance, or, you know, they're not being their, what you know, as normal selves. And it could be because they're feeling some type of way. So ask them, how are you feeling? What's going on with school? You know, do you like how school is going? What do you need? How do you want to express yourself? You know, what can we do so that you are feeling nourished? And it might be that you need to pour more energy into them, because maybe, you know, you have not been able to do that for whatever reason. And that's not saying that you're a bad mother or anything like that, but maybe they just need more hugs and more reassurance. So one of the things that Savvy and I do, we don't do it every day, but, you know, we say affirmations, and that's a really helpful and easy way to fill your kids with love. I have like a bunch of affirmations all over like my mirror and things like that. And so I'll say my affirmations, and sometimes like she'll just go and say them herself, which is really beautiful, because she's kind of getting into the habit. Like, I'm going to say nice things to myself. So it could be as simple as that. But if this is your energy, and because it's coming up in the energy of Earth, which is physical manifestation, they can see that. Sometimes we think that our children don't know what we're feeling or what's going on, and they do know. They can sense it. Children are extremely intuitive. Even if they don't realize that they know something is off, they just know it. So be mindful of that. Make sure that they're seeing you take care of yourself. Make sure that you are displaying healthy habits to your children, and really pouring love and energy back into them, so that they know that it's safe to express themselves, that it's okay to like have days where you're not feeling the best, and it's safe to really talk about these things as individuals and also as a family. Sometimes we forget to ask children, like, what do you need? And maybe they need to go for a walk. Maybe they want you to like rub their belly. Like, sometimes Savvy will come and ask me for aroma touch, which is like an essential oil massage application. And I'm like, okay, sure. Or sometimes she'll just want me just to kind of rub her with lavender oil. So sometimes they just need connection, and to know that they're safe, that everything is taken care of. Also, if there are a lot of issues around their dad not being around, this might also be a good time to maybe reach out to the school counselor to see what kind of resources are available, or even maybe have them talk to, or consider family counseling. That's something that I've been considering as well. But, you know, we want to also be mindful and remember that our children are little people with their own feelings and thoughts. And it's important that we talk to them so that we know what's happening with them too. Because if we are not feeling good, chances are they are also not feeling good. Okay, so what to learn from them. Let's see what to learn from them. And I feel like a lot of this is just a change. It's a change, because when I go back to that lesson of self-destruction, it's like everything is changing. So just, yeah, be mindful of that. Like, everyone has to adjust to change, and that can, you know, cause grief, right? There's a process to grief because summertime is over. There's a process because, you know, your schedule has changed. Okay, so, lesson to learn. This is beautiful, the great void. Children are very, like I said, very intuitive, and they have so much to teach. When I see this, the great void, this womb with all of this light and everything coming out, they can teach us how to create out of darkness, how to create out of nothing. You can leave a kid in an empty room and they will transform it into, a new planet filled with, monsters and goblins and unicorns and all kinds of things, and have an absolute blast using nothing but their imagination. And again, it kind of goes back. I feel like they're kind of feeling bored. They want to create something. They want to kind of see something new. And what you can learn from them is how to create from your heart, and how to tap into that sacral chakra energy where our creativity and intuition lies, how to harness that power and move it up through your solar plexus chakra, into your heart chakra, up to your throat, and really learn to harness your raw potential and energy. Because what I'm seeing here is they are sitting and rooted, which is root chakra. The sacral chakra, as well as the solar plexus chakra here, are being activated because that creative energy is now being put to use. With the passion that comes through your heart chakra, this is something that you're loving, and you're moving it up through your throat chakra for expression, third eye, intuition, right? And then out into the world, into the collective consciousness. So there's this whole how to harness your power, your energy, and put it out there. That is something that we can absolutely learn from children. If you ever just sit and watch them play, and they put on, like Savvy will go put on a party princess dress, and she is a princess. She's Princess Savvy, and that's what it is. Like, when's the last time that you have treated yourself like a goddess or a princess or a queen or whoever you want to be? When's the last time that you've used your creative powers to nurture and fulfill yourself? When is the last time that you've done something for you? When is the last time that you've taken care of yourself and really gave yourself what you wanted deep within? A lot of times as single moms, we have to sacrifice, and we feel that we cannot, like we have to give up who we are in order to be parents, right? So many mothers, like if you like to dance, maybe you stop dancing. If you like to write, maybe you feel like you don't have time to write, or those things feel like child's play because now you are an adult. You have a house to take care of, you've got bills to pay, you've got children to raise, you've got a job that you've got to work. So it's like, when fun? Like, what fun? Like, no, I gotta feed, I gotta cook, I gotta wash the clothes, I gotta make sure the children are, doing their homework. Is schoolwork turned in? Do they have clean clothes to wear? Did they take bath? Like all of these different things. So you forget about your power to create. And sometimes when you are maybe alone and by yourself, you feel empty. But you're not realizing that you can harness that feeling of emptiness, which is nothing more than pure potential. You can harness that and create something, but you have to have the willpower to do it. You have to have the wisdom and knowledge to know that you can take action from those places. It might be something as simple as you start journaling at night. When you can't sleep and you just got ideas or thoughts running through your head, you pull out your journal and you start writing. That's one way to harness the potential or the energy in the void. So be mindful of that. Know that there are ways to harness creativity, to be creative, and to really tap into your power and put amazing things out there that you want to share. And it might not be anything on a grand scale. Maybe it's not, you're calling to start a business or anything like that, but it might just be in how you take care of your family and how you show up at work, right? Maybe you have some amazing ideas and you share them with your boss, and next thing you know, now you have a new position and a new raise because you wanted to create something and you were able to add value by acting on your intuition, okay? And this can also be creating new structure and systems for your family as well. Like maybe you're like, okay, I'm gonna play music in the morning when we're getting ready to go, and we're gonna sing affirmations, or we're gonna, you know, find ways to add creativity to your day. It doesn't have to be something grand. You don't have to start a family YouTube channel unless you want to. It can be something as simple as you make a playlist, and every morning you get up, you hit the playlist, and you and your kids, you dance and jump around while you're getting ready to start your day, okay? So let's see. Okay, so this card wanted to come out, so I'm going to take it. Message from Spirit. You have everything that you need within you to create. You can find your peace. There's abundance and peace all around you. You can create this for yourself. And that is a completely different energy from this. I feel like you're coming out of this energy and you're going to be moving yourself and your family into this kind of energy, into an abundant life. It's filled with peace. It's filled with abundance. It's filled with transformation, with insight, safety, security, stability. This is what you're moving towards. This is what you can create out of the darkness or out of the void. Imagine looking back at all of the things that you've been through and knowing that you completely transformed your life. You woke up and you realized this is not the life that I want for myself or my family. This is the life that I want. So you start to recognize and you answer this call and you start to decide that I'm going to do something different. I'm going to create change and transformation for me and my children so that I am nurtured and so that they feel good emotionally. Okay. Okay. So let's see how to embrace motherhood. And I think I'm going to pull another card just for guidance, because this was, I like this reading. We have Athena. Ooh, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Athena here is moving forward, and she's moving quickly with control over these two horses who are breathing heavily because they are running, okay? This is having, not only is that, I feel like the sacral chakra energy, that willpower, that drive and determination, but this is you being in control, but not controlling. And control meaning like you know what direction that you're going in, and if you start to go off direction, you're able to get back on track. Not so much so that, you know, you're overcompensating, and or that you know, when you start to see, like, you know how sometimes we can overcorrect, and they say, you know, if you see your car drifting, you don't snatch the wheel back because then the car can flip. So it's being mindful that sometimes life will take you in a different direction, and sometimes you need to follow that direction. But it's also knowing that you're never losing focus and you're always going to move forward. There was this affirmation that said, what was it? Oh my goodness. It's in my affirmation list. I'm trying to remember. It's something along the lines of the obstacles in my life are only there to guide me or teach me, something along that line. So it's like you're deciding that embracing motherhood for you means going all in. It means going all in and moving forward at all costs. You're not going to stay back in this energy. You're not going to allow your family to sit in this energy feeling like something's missing, feeling like something's gone. You're going to take the cards that you were dealt and you're going to win with them. And that's what it's all about. It's about taking action on the information that I just shared today and saying, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to my kids. Or, wow, you know what? I haven't really been taking care of myself. I am going to take a bubble bath and relax, and I'm going to sit down with my journal, or I'm just going to write out a schedule for the coming week so that I can get back on track, right? So it's taking action and knowing the direction that you want to move in and not taking your eyes off of that, because that's what's going to help you to drive forward when you have absolute clarity on what it is that you want to do, the type of life that you want to live, the changes that you want to make and embrace, so that you know when it's time to, when it's time to move, and the time to move is now. The time to move is now. This is not time to sit and sulk in the past, in the hurts. This is a time to take honest stock of where you are and start moving forward. So, I'm gonna pull one last card to close things out for my single moms. What guidance guidance do they need? Guidance do they need? This card. Alignment. This is perfect. This is so perfect. Alignment. This is Goddess Anahita. And this is about the gestation period. You see what she's doing? Again, the energy of creation. There's been a lot of earth energy. We have Gaia right here, right? We've got more nurturing earth here and here. And then there's a lot of fire. Like there's something being sparked within you this month, mama, that you need to pay attention to. The affirmation for this is, I am enough. My energies are balanced and aligned with nature. When you are balanced and aligned, you're taking care of yourself, right? You're taking care of yourself. You've got this goddess energy going, right? You're nurturing yourself. You're going through transformation. You're healing, you're moving forward, and you're creating. You are creating the life that you want, which is ultimately what this is about. You're moving forward to abundance. You're moving forward to a space of healing and creativity. Because I also see healing in this great void, right? Because when you realize, like, there's nothing missing from your life, right? And a lot of times that's where we can get stuck, feeling like this, feeling like something's missing. And even our children can feel like something's missing. So we have to fill that void with something, and it needs to be filled with love. It needs to be filled with focus and creativity. It needs to be filled with you pushing forward to create the life that you truly desire for yourself and your family. And that's what energy you can harness this month for really seeing and creating change, letting go of any unhealthy, destructive habits or behaviors or ideas and even thoughts, because sometimes it's thoughts that we have that lead us to feeling like we don't need to take care of ourselves, that prevents us from being there and available to really see, you know, what our children are dealing with, and not being able to really, you know, be there for them and give them the love and everything that they need. So we have to be mindful of how they're feeling, make sure that we're nurturing them, and make sure that we are checking in with how they feel emotionally, okay? So that is a big reading. I am sending you an abundance of love, an abundance of peace, of joy, of healing, growth, and transformation. One of the things that I am working on is the Healing Single Mothers community, which is going to be a membership community that you can join either on a monthly or yearly basis. Inside it, we're going to have single mom circles, which will be healing circles where you can benefit from energy healing. We'll have talking circles where we can just come together and talk about what's going on, where we need to be supported. I'm also going to have coaching sessions where you can come in, ask questions, and get some coaching to help you in your life, along with different courses, resources, and so much more. Right now, you can get a free membership, which will give you access to the resources inside the community, and you can find that at healingsinglemothers.com/free. I will be launching the community in November, so stay tuned. There will be a lot of amazing bonuses and benefits to the moms who decide to join and take action and get started, because I want to set you up to win in life. I want to set you up to really give your children the support they need, to give yourself the support you need, to truly live abundantly ever after. I love you. I see you. I support you. And I will see you again soon, mama. Peace.